Okay, so I'm back home from the doctor's appointment. Tried to make a video coming down the road, and it just looked so crappy and sounded so bad. So hopefully this one will sound better. I decided to come out and try to get a little bit of sun, get my vitamin D levels up. Um, but as far as the appointment goes, when I first got there, they went ahead and gave me the booklet and the answer sheet. Where you mark your true or false questions. There's like 300 and some questions on there. And they told me I could go ahead and get started on that while I waited for the doctor to come out and call me back to talk to me, psychologist or whatever. And so I started on that, and maybe got 30 or so of them answered. And then he came out and called me back to his office, and then went over the standard sort of like HIPAA forms where in order to release information to my surgeon I had to sign the paper, and then because my insurance wouldn't cover the MMPI-2 test, I had to sign the paper that said that he had disclosed that to me. So I knew that I had to pay for that up front, which where I go that was $160 plus my copay, which was $25. So could have been a lot worse. But anyhow, we got that out of the way. Then he started going over just the stuff I had filled out, essentially my medications, if I'd had a lot of trouble as far as in my history with depression, if I had ever been bulimic. Let's see, what else was there? Just mainly questions, was there any abuse in my childhood? How's the family life? What kind of support do you have? It was nothing that delved deep into any kind of, causes as to why you overeat. He did ask if I thought I knew why, or if I ate more when I was stressed versus when I was happy, when I was bored, and I'm not, I eat all the time, It doesn't matter to me. I can be happy and want to celebrate with food. I can be stressed and want to eat. I can be bored, and if I can't sleep or whatever, I'll fix a sandwich. Or, So anyhow, it was just a few questions like that, nothing major. That may have took, including the paperwork, and then there was another one that I had to fill out, a little one-page questionnaire that I filled out. It was no major, nothing great to it. That may have took 20 minutes. I don't even know if it took 20 minutes. Maybe. So then he said I could finish the 300 and some true or false questionnaire thing in the conference room. So he took me in there, and I had a seat and just worked on finishing the rest of those true and false questions, which there was some crazy ones, like, do you have voices in your head telling you what to do? Or I have voices in my head that tells me what to do. I have visions of, like wanting to hurt animals. I like children. I sometimes feel displeased with my family. I feel that in general, most people would lie to get ahead. And I think the main thing that I would say to look for on the test is just the words like always versus sometimes. Because you will get questions that were asked the same. Some of them are real obvious as to which ones they asked that was the same things over and over again. There's a lot of questions on there that I think they try to see if you're like a hypochondriac. I suffer from constipation, my scalp is tender, I have rashes, all this kind of stuff, or chronically have these things, or I always have these things. And I think they're trying to decide whether you may have a disorder as far as your health goes. Others, I'm sure, have to do with personality disorders and making sure that there's nothing major that shows up that you need to be treated for. I did ask him, I said, will I get the results from this? And he said, I would have the right to look at it. He said, essentially, all I'm doing is not breaking it down like they would for a personality test, a personality profile, as much as just making sure that what we went over in this interview you were truthful about. Such as, I told him I didn't have a drinking problem or a drug problem, and on the test, if it said, the only way I'm able to relax is with a few drinks, true or false. If you answer true, then that would probably be different than what you told him in the interview, if you're lying. So I guess in a way they're trying to catch you in a lie. I wanted to make sure you're honest. So the best thing is just to be honest when you go in and talk to the doctor, and then be as honest as you can on that test, and try to sleep the night before. My eyes were crossing.